Hey guys, I'm Rick, and that is One Big Pile of Bricks with our amazing guest, Adele K Thomas. Woo! Hello, Adele. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, should we start for everyone listening and watching at home how we met? Do you remember? I do.
I'm like actually going in my
It was a long time
mind.
ago. We're probably 12 years ago.
Would it have been at a Lego at the conventions?
Yeah, I think you were
Yes.
dressed up as
which
Wonder Woman.
Okay, one of the better ones.
I didn't say it, but that's fine. Like, yeah.
No, I'll take compliments.
I just keep thinking that, like,
no, it's a good costume.
Yeah, I think we met there, and you were hanging out with Jen Croft, I think, at the time.
Yeah,
You guys were hanging out?
Yeah.
Because she's not back. I think she's...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's such a good Croft cosplayer. Yeah.
And I think we met there, and I think we were just chatting about general stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot's happened since then.
Yeah, so much. It's like a whole lifetime.
There's like a whole thing, a whole story that's good for a podcast and a whole story that's not good for a podcast. So what do you do for work? I should ask. Explain to people that are not me. Because I know everything. So
I work in animation.
That's exciting.
Animation production, 2D animation. And so I do a range of stuff. So at the moment, I'm a BG color lead, so background color lead on,
that's cool.
On a TV show.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. And I've had many years in the animation industry. So I've been a director, a character designer, color designer, art director, executive producer, all these things.
Oh, your resume must be like 50 pages long. It's like all this stuff.
You have to go through and go, well, that's not important anymore. And I'm a children's book illustrator.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what made you make the leap from being this amazing, like, designer for like shows and stuff to books?
Well, it's all I can do. I've got no other skills.
You can say it, but I don't even know what to say to that.
If I can draw stuff or assist and direct people, or direct myself,
you've been successful.
Yeah,
you have multiple books of yours.
Yeah, I finally, after like 10 years of trying to get my foot in the door or getting false starts with children's books, 2018 I got offered the Pearl series, and then it all just came flooding in, and it's been great. So,
and how many Pearl books have you done now?
12.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and then there's a spin-off series that's just kicked off called Pearl and Friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you'll be working on that as well?
Yeah, so I'm just about to start finishing the fourth book of the 4-book series.
That's a lot of...
Yeah, so...
Serious. And how have you gone publishing like your own books, like the Animals Eat Veggies?
Yeah. So I did that one because I...
Bring it up here, Jason can see that one, perfect.
Yeah.
That way?
So I did that one myself because I wanted a folio piece, but also I had this idea and some friends overseas. A lot of designers in animation tend to be kid-lit illustrators as well. It's just a natural kind of partnership. But I had this idea and I wanted to illustrate it, and a friend who'd kickstarted his own books at the time when you just kickstart it. And so I raised money to do all the postage, which is very expensive.
Yeah, it is. I think I got a few books.
Yes,
there's artwork hanging on my niece's wall.
Yeah, thank you very much for supporting it. So I got it out, and I still have books that I'm going to be selling at.
That's awesome.
At one of the cons in April on the Gold Coast next year.
Yeah, Comic Con or Supernova.
Supernova.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'll be there selling these, and I'll also be selling some copies at Barclay Mansion.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's been really good. I did that and it kicked it all off, and now I'm in picture books, which is hard to get into.
And while it's like you've got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
And so with all your series of books, which has been your favorite series so far?
I think that, like, there's parts of them, like I really like the Pearl series because the challenge was doing a horse figure, like a unicorn, and they're
I can draw
challenging. They're very challenging. I had to kind of teach myself on a couch when I was doing the test to get the gig. And so that's been good, and I feel like I really know those characters now. But it was really fun to do Battle Mum with Zoe.
So did you get to have a conversation with her?
We talked through the editor and she
Yeah.
sent me a nice message on
Oh, that's
Instagram.
nice.
Yeah. But also then Bears and Flares is really good because I'm working with Adrian again.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
yeah, I've worked with him before. Yeah.
It's really funny because there's two boys standing here and they're mucking around and dropping stuff, and something just rolled towards us.
I'm just like,
No, don't say sorry, boys. It's fine. So overall, are you happy with where you are now with your book career, or would you like more?
Oh, you always I talk with some book illustrators. We got a little chat, and we're always like, you want to write your own. You want to
Yeah.
write and illustrate your own. So, there's two kidlit illustrators that came from animation design.
Yeah.
And like I'm kind of trying to I follow in their footsteps. So I'm like, well, they're writing their own now. So I guess that's the next step for me.
And you'd have to raise a lot of cash, right, to like publish your own book?
Well, for like a Kickstarter or something, yes, you do. But once you're in with the publishers, you try and pitch stuff to them. Yeah. But it all depends on what's selling or what they see coming up in the market that's going to fly off the shelves. So you could have a really nice, sweet idea, but it's just not the right climate.
Yeah.
You know, mermaids are out, or you know.
That's the hardest thing, I think, for someone as talented as you, is trying to find the right thing at the moment.
Yeah, and you can never chase the idea. Like that's always going to be a dead end. It's the same in animation. You can't chase ideas. If there's already ideas that are in the market, they were planned and created about three years or whatever beforehand, and that idea is already old.
It'd be extremely hard in a competitive market, I would imagine.
Yeah. So like when Pearl was kind of early in its early stages, I would sometimes go in on the shelves and there'd be like 4 different unicorn ranges.
And it's like all mixed in, right? You're like,
yeah. So you just kind of like, I'll just move this up here.
Just like swap it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Do what Dean Rankin does and like moves his book to like the bestsellers section?
Yes. Yeah.
Just kind of move stuff around.
Yeah. I had Battle Mum was in the aisle and I took it to the front
and just put it right
there. Yeah.
So do you find out how many like copies they sell?
Yes. Yeah, you get reports because you get that if you receive residuals, and even if you aren't receiving any residuals, you still get a report because you get an advance, and you have to earn that advance. You got to
earn the right to have that,
sales, and so you should get reports on how many how many that you're selling.
And obviously, Pearl is doing well because you're at like a million.
yeah. So that's done really well. They just had book week at the moment, and I had someone send me a photo of their kid dressed as Pearl. So they're still out there dressing as Pearl.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, and then one was dressed as a battle character for Battle Mum, and then someone else was dressed as Fizzy from Barclay Mansion, so one of the dogs. It was a very good costume. So
does it make you feel like a bit like tingly inside?
Oh, yeah, because you're like, I drew that, and that kid I like connected enough with it that they wanted to be that character.
That's pretty sweet.
This is like me dressing as Wonder Woman or 90s Rogue or Tomb Raider.
Well, yeah, I forgot about Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you still doing cosplay stuff, or you've like done?
No. I think like I was done with that. I kind of I think my last one was the Ripley Alien.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last one I tend to kind of crack out because it's a jumpsuit and it's not easy. I'm not having to put on a corset and put on some little blue kind of pants and wear some tights and tiara and a big fake black wig.
Hard I know this is a bit of a weird question, but is it hard dressing up as like Wonder Woman in a convention environment? Are you worried about like weird boots? There's weird dudes everywhere.
There's weirdos everywhere, but I kind of one of the shots that I saw of myself dressed as Wonder Woman was from Oz Comic Con Melbourne, and it was from behind, and they'd posted it up, but It was both creepy, but also I appreciated my my butt because I'd been doing a lot of squats and lunges.
That was a guy photographer for sure. There's no way that was a female.
So when it pops up, I'm like, okay.
You want to be angry, but you're like, oh, that's nice.
Also, like, I don't get to see that angle like a candid from behind. But no, weird. But
guy photographer for sure, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I tend to shut off from that stuff, I guess, because I don't know. I've been back from like 19 and stuff. I was doing a lot of on set. I did a lot of live action background extra work and stuff like that.
Up here in Queensland, right?
Yeah. At the Village Roadshow Studios, and I've been dressed in a sack as a slave and stuff with
Have you
fake
really?
mud. Yeah. In the Lost World series, I was like a
seriously?
slave in that, and so I've been dragged along the floor with chains by some bearded guys.
Some creepy dude that's there's always that one beard guy anyway in these sort of conventions,
I'm sure like the MEAA equity should have been on set for that.
So there's no like harassment issues.
Yeah, just I don't think you should be dragging this 19-year-old along the floor without some knee pads.
You just think about it now, like, you know, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get away with that stuff today.
No, there'd be some.
You know what I mean?
You'd hope also that people would feel kind of a little bit more empowered to go, excuse me, my knees are hurting.
Well, and also too, when you're getting into the market like you were, you sort of just need to suck it up, right? Is that
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's certain boundaries that you have, but you know, there's a million background extras also.
Yeah.
I mean, like I used to go to cattle calls for background extras and also cattle calls for you know, auditions and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yes, I'm Adele here, you know. Yeah, you go.
Hi, my name's Jason.
Like when I was auditioning for Scooby-Doo, I actually did that, and I live really nearby, so I can go. It's just like you just change. I got the role because I was the only one in the room that actually did the American accent.
They're like, oh, she lives 5 minutes up the road. This is sweet, easy.
Yeah, she's around the corner. So you do a bit of to the random casting person behind the camera.
And you've done like San Diego Comic-Con and stuff?
Yes. I took the Wonder Woman to
and how was that?
That was awesome. Like
What an
that was a
experience.
fantastic experience.
Especially pre-COVID, you know, before all that weird rules and stuff came in.
Yes, yeah. And I got some great stuff from there as well. Like I had to buy an extra suitcase to bring back the stuff that I bought because I bought like the Marty McFly hoverboard. And so I'm like,
that thing that you're like, how are you gonna like fit that in? Like,
so I had to buy an extra suitcase. But yeah, that was a fantastic experience. My Wonder Woman costume that I took there, when I got back to my apartment from the day of wearing my costume, and the boots literally fell apart. Like I went to take them, they fell apart, and I'm like, well, that's the end of that costume. it went out on a good con.
San Diego, I've been once, but didn't stay the whole day because I was a little bit overwhelmed.
Oh, it is full on.
It's like, you know, everyone thinks Comic-Con and stuff is bad.
Yeah. I've got some people that I still stay in contact with them, like sleeping in the line to get into Hall H.
Oh, mate.
I made friends in the line, and it was such a great experience. Though, even though it was full on, you just go with it. I was lying on the grass undercover, and Metallica's playing a concert. Like,
and you could literally hear them.
You could hear them because they were promoting a movie at the time, and I'm under the stars eating some great pizza, and I'm like, well, this is cool. But yeah, had a great time in there, and you know, got to do my cosplaying and got to go to the when they do the exclusives.
Yeah.
And that was the day I was dressed as Wonder Woman. So I was trying to get the Lego DeLorean, the first one that they did.
Yeah.
And I was in line for it, and literally they sold out the person before me because everyone's buying two. And I sat there with this guy who I also still friends with, who I met there. And I just like was so overwhelmed that I started crying. So I'm
like, oh,
I'm crying, and this guy comes up and he goes, look, I saw you were sad, and I saw you were in the Lego line. I bought two of them, one of
Oh, that's sweet.
So I bought one. I think he he like raised the price a little bit.
You got one though. That's amazing.
I got
he
one.
He took emotional advantage. He's like, you're crying. Would you like to buy a swing set for $100 more?
Yeah. That's a candid I don't want. Crying Wonder Woman, mascara running, holding a Lego like a sad.
It'd be worse if you're holding like the Lego set that doesn't have Wonder Woman, so it's like a Batman v Superman set, and you're like, "Where's Wonder Woman?"
I've got a Morbius set.
It's so funny. So, have you enjoyed your time the last X amount of years? I won't say how long because it's true. How long have you been in the,
Well, it's been a challenge. There are some people young people that I work with that go straight from university or their degree or whatever their study, and college, and they go straight into a job, like straight in. And I'm like inside, I'm just like, oh, I'm a little bit envious because when I finished uni, or I was coming to my end of my year, the 2D industry was collapsing here in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Because I went to the Griffith Film School.
Yeah.
And I actually just did a talk there the other day on
It must be surreal.
Yeah, it was compositional storytelling for 2D animation. It's very interesting. I make it interesting. They laughed. They enjoyed it. I got compliments.
At least they laughed and they clapped.
Yeah, it's very hard as long as they're awake.
Yeah.
But so when I came to the end of my degree, I wanted to go to Disney Sydney. I'm not saying they would have hired me, but I was studying layout, which is a part of the production line and backgrounds, and I wanted to go train there or do that. But they closed down. So I had to do an emergency honours year and figure out what I was going to do. But that worked out because I came up with my idea that I later pitched to Cartoon Network Asia, and I got a pilot out of that. But I did have to work as an artist in other like interactive and online industries and like different things until I actually finally got to work on a TV show, which was Psycho Butts. Well, The Day My Butt Went Psycho, which is based on the Andy Griffith books. I finally got to work on that. And then stuff got going. Yeah. But it was a bit of a, like a slog. And
I think being an artist in especially what you're specialised in is hard in this country.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean,
because Australia is not very arts friendly.
No, and like right before COVID, or right on the like kickoff of COVID in Australia, the last government cancelled the quota the quota requirements for commercial TV to be
Why would they do that?
making. Well, they wanted to put that money into reality TV shows and stuff like that because it brings in the money to the
Lego Masters.
over in America they were still making a lot of their shows and movies from home, whereas here, like, I lost my job overnight, kind of because the channel of the show I was working on pulled the funding, and I had.
It's crazy. It's always crazy to me that like they can just like do that.
Yeah,
and I don't understand, especially during COVID. I mean, like I got a lot of like friends that are in your community. We've got artists and actors and improv people and all these amazing people who the government provided nothing for.
Yeah.
But they get and give sport money. Yeah. Like sport still attracts millions of viewers on TV.
Yeah, and no, I'm not like
no, sport's great.
Yeah,
but like don't attack me.
Yeah, go Matildas. But like I'm not poo-pooing on the theatre and ballet and stuff and those kind of performing arts, but musicians and people in games and people in animation development and stuff like that, we're kind of like red tape, forgotten about. And this like nice fancy art that like we go get free tickets to, that's the arts. And it's like, it's all the arts. Take care of all of us that are involved.
I think that's the biggest hardest thing is that, like during, the bushfires, it was the musicians that did everything.
I know.
Like, and then like we forget so quickly.
Yeah,
it's
short
like,
memories.
We don't need shout. What's musicians?
Short memories are good for budgets. So
especially with half the politicians we have in power.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was really nice to have our current new arts minister be so passionate about certain things, and especially with our lending rights in books, because now we can get like the ASA, the Australian, the Society for Authors, helped kind of get digital lending rights.
Oh, cool.
And that was kind of in partnership with the Arts Minister. So now, like anything that's an ebook, digital, I will earn lending rights. Like,
wow, because you never used to do that, right?
No, it was just for library loans that you get like residuals. So I get them. We'll get them for digital, and it's like fantastic. Yeah,
That's great that they're doing that and they're realizing that's a problem.
yeah,
You know, because like
yeah.
everyone assumed, and this is what makes me laugh about like the book world, is that everyone assumed books were going to die. You know, Amazon did all this stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Because Amazon and they're a terrible company, right? So they did all this stuff and they're like, no one could really get books for a good price. Everyone's getting paid hardly anything. You're earning pennies on a dollar because they're getting paid less.
Yeah.
And now books have kind of done this 360 where bookshops are finally coming back, I found. Like,
yeah, but it takes a lot of effort from you get a lot of authors and illustrators that really have to put in the mileage of promoting their books. Like you go on any author illustrator's page and they're just there going, hey, I'm in this store. Hey, I'm doing this school appearance. And they're just trying to do it so that, you know, it keeps their series alive, keeps it in the
momentum,
forefront.
right? You got to keep like.
Yeah. So I have it looks exhausting to me. I couldn't do it because I work in animation full time as well. But yeah, I was told when I started doing the kid lit art, don't give up your day job. And I do say you basically do this because you really want to do it. Like if you really love drawing, you do it, and hopefully, if it picks up, then the residuals come in. So this is not unless you're a celebrity author, this is not a money making.
And the term celebrity is used very loosely in Australia. Like, you know, I don't think reality TV is classed as celebrity, but apparently it is now.
Yeah.
Apparently people with no talent can release books.
Yeah, like we'll still take those jobs.
Adele will take all the jobs.
Because it is a job. But I do think that the space on the shelves is getting a little bit.
I noticed that, like, it's a lot of, like, you know, you get, like, footballers now writing kids' books. Like, what is a footballer know? Like, good for you, but, like, what is it like?
And they're, they're amazingly illustrated. So the illustration. And when you don't see an illustrator.
You do the majority of it.
when you don't see an illustrator's name on the cover or you see a promotion on TV with the author is talking about the book and they don't mention the name of the illustrator, I'm just infuriated.
It's really bad, right? Especially like if Zoe's promoting a book and doesn't mention that you did all these awesome, like you're a part of that process.
Yeah.
Like without those pictures, the book doesn't make sense.
Yeah. If you don't like, and just a tag on social media, that's nice, but it doesn't hurt to go and illustrated blah blah blah. And,
it doesn't even cost them anything to add that at the end, right?
And the hosts of the TV shows could do the same as well. Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem is that, especially in this country, the arts industry just cops it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's always like, unless the government's giving big studios millions of dollars for no reason.
Yeah.
The studios just pull.
Yeah.
Like we're experiencing that a little bit now. Studios are dropping out again. Got friends in game development's dropping again. And it's like, he's like sad, and I don't blame him. You're sad. This is your industry.
Yeah.
And it must just be a weird feeling to have to always like fight for food. That's
I know,
and
we're seeing it happen overseas right now, and in the US, and that is having a knock-on effect with people I know in the industry where it's starting. They're like now losing their work, and this is
massive.
And this is no fault of the strikers. This is the fault of.
It blows my mind because I've been reading up on it because I'm big on like everyone should earn enough to live, right? That's the rule, right?
Yeah.
Like as a society, Western society, we are incredibly lucky that we're in a position where poverty is not really poverty, you know? Like, I think if everyone gets a livable wage, you make more money. So doesn't that make sense? Like, doesn't that make sense to everybody? Like, and then you hear that like actors, some are getting like $100 a day. And you're like, how can you live off that? Like,
I explained the strike to my mum and dad the other day, and they were just like, "That's disgusting." Like, what was being?
Like, what the situation
was? Yeah. Because she relates it to me being that my past in performance and as an artist and stuff.
Well, it's going to have a big flow-on effect, I think, for cinema.
Yeah.
Because movies are like, they made them, but...
I mean, if you're angry that you're not getting new movies, just go watch some old ones like that you haven't watched.
And also, too, the world is so flooded with content.
It's so much
It's
content.
so much now. There's all those streaming. You've got TikTok, which is like a beast in itself.
Yeah.
Like, and that, it's just... I just don't understand why people just don't get paid fairly.
And you can learn so much from watching old films as well. Like I said at my lecture the other day, I said, like, if you want to learn about composition and filmmaking, go watch some old live action films. And when I say old, I say pre-2000s because it was on film. And like I was mentioning, like Robert De Palma films and like Blowout, like 1981. This is amazing, like framing. And they like, I hear this giggle from this older student.
You're like, oh. It's always the way, though, with that stuff. That's why I'm struggling with movies that are heavily CGI, because it's just like you're watching a computer game.
Yeah, I can't really watch those comfortably because I know how it's filmed.
And it must just hurt your brain a little bit?
Yeah. Well, like I know that I know I've really enjoyed a movie if I walk out, or a TV show, if I really like gas bag about the editing and the composition when I come out, like I'm really enjoyed it. Like if I geek out about that, and So
what's been your most favorite movie or TV series in the last 20 years?
In the last
20 years.
What is it now? 2023.
20. There you go. Just bang.
What's that? 2003.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Last 5 years. Let's make it easier.
Can I slide the X-Files into there?
Yeah, might as well. That's close enough.
Even if it was like...
Speaking of X-Files, Brett Waller is here. He wants to catch up. He's floating around the globe. Like that.
Yeah. I was like, when are they making his X-Files set?
Well, it keeps getting denied. So. We had him on a podcast yesterday, and we were chatting about his like Seinfeld and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I think they're not going to approve anymore because I've had too many."
Oh, right.
There's two. He's had two, right?
I've got a number of. I think I've got both of those sets. Yeah,
and he sells a lot of custom stuff.
Yeah. I think I've got his custom logo and stuff.
But in saying that, X-Files is really good. I still watch it.
Yeah, X-Files. And I like watched House of the Dragon about 3 times.
Wow, I haven't seen any of that sort of House of the Dragon stuff.
Yeah,
just don't have time.
Yeah,
and I've been too busy with traveling and shows.
Yeah, you're like it's like a whirlwind tour of your podcast.
It's been insane. I've been incredibly lucky. We've got people like Jason who help. Jason's awesome. Like I can't speak highly enough of Jason.
Jason's amazing.
Yeah. And Jason's going like bright red. He's so cute in his little face. But I wanted to say thank you. Now, where can we buy your books? Do you have a website, or do you put a link to Instagram?
So I am on Instagram. I do promote them on Instagram. But these are in store. So Battle Mum's in store. You can buy these all online. Bears and Flares and the Pearl series, they're through Scholastic, so they will be in stores, but you can buy them through the Scholastic magazines and that's the new junior novels. So they're through the catalog. And this one, I don't think I've got it available at the moment on my website because I took a break, but Animals Eat Their Veggies too.
It's really good. My niece loves it.
That one I get told gets reread a lot, but that one I'll be selling at the Supernova convention on the Gold Coast.
So we'll put a link down to your Instagram, and then they can follow and keep up to date with everything that's about.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for traveling up.
Yeah, up.
Traveling up, because I was like traveling down. You're like, no, it was up. Like, sorry. But thank you so much for joining Jason and I for our podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime.
It's been great to have a natter. Have a chit chat. When you work remote from home and you get the chance to talk to someone outside of a meeting, you're like, let me tell you all about what I've been doing.
Yeah, but it's nice to catch up too, because since you've moved, we haven't really talked.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to follow Adele on all the things.
Yeah.
I'll put a link down below and link her on all of it.
Yeah, I'll be touring to Melbourne in October.
Well, we'll catch up.
Yeah. So
I'll be around. We'll be around.
I'll be coming for the Australian Cartoonists Association.
Oh, that's cool.
Conference. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll catch up. All right. Thanks, Adele.
No, thank you very much.